So we all want to do what's right by our kids, of course, and while for some moms that means getting their little ones vaccinated right away, others delay or even avoid immunizations altogether. So what's the right choice here? We didn't know, which is why as part of our ongoing My Parenting series, we've asked Dr. Ari Brown to join us this morning. Not only is she a spokesperson for the American Academy of Pediatrics, but she's also the author of the books Baby 411 and Toddler 411. Dr. Brown, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start off with safety because I know a lot of moms worry about mercury and other ingredients in vaccines. Should they be concerned?
No, and let's start with mercury. So there was a preservative that was used in vaccines prior to 2001 that contained a special type of mercury that was never ever known to cause any adverse health effects, but it was removed from the routine childhood vaccinations in 2001. So we can check that box off and
check that one off.
Quit worrying about that one.
All right.
And then the other ingredients parents do need to know about. We do have ingredients in vaccines that actually prevent contamination of the vaccines or increase the effectiveness of the vaccine. And those ingredients are found in very trace amounts, and actually our daily environmental exposures are greater than what's in those vaccines. You should also know that the World Health Organization and several other medical organizations have looked at these ingredients and have found them to be very safe. So the bottom line is you don't need to worry about all of these things.
But I want to ask you about this because when I'm getting my kids vaccinated, I think, okay, I'm getting them immunized against something a disease that's essentially disappeared here in the United States. So why still vaccinate?
Right, and that's a great question. And the greatest irony of vaccine success is that parents today are unfamiliar with the diseases, and that's because vaccines have done their job. But what you need to realize is that when less than 90% of people in a community are not vaccinated, that leaves them susceptible to outbreaks. Outbreaks can happen, and we've seen that all over the United States, but particularly in California. You can just look at 2008, there was a measles outbreak that caused hospitalizations. Yeah. And in 2010, there was a whooping cough outbreak, and actually babies died. Oh. So these diseases are very real, and I can tell you as a pediatrician, I have taken care of children who have suffered from these diseases, and I've taken care of children who have died. These are real diseases and not diseases you want your kids to have.
So when is the right time then to start vaccinating your child?
Well, the important thing to know is that you want to do it as soon as it's safe and effective to do so. So, for instance, the hepatitis B shot can be given to newborns shortly after birth, and then other shots we start doing at 2 months. And the key to remember is that our youngest children are the most vulnerable to these diseases, and that's why we want to protect them as soon as possible.
So I know that some parents choose to kind of space out the shots, right? They don't want to do everything all at once. Good, bad?
Bad.
Bad.
Bad. And the reason why is that parents seem to think that the risk of vaccines is greater than the risk of the disease, and that's because they're really unaware of the risk of infectious diseases. You can't prevent infectious diseases. You can't control when they're going to show up and be around your child. The best you can do is to protect your child so that if they are exposed, they have that barrier of protection. And so I do recommend that you follow the recommended vaccination series through the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Centers for Disease Control, because that way your children are protected when they should be. A lot of parents are concerned there are too many shots, too soon, they want to wait. And just in our lifetimes, when I was a kid, I didn't get nearly as many shots, and there's so many more now, but the answer is that's good news, because these are serious diseases. In fact, there are 3 different types of bacterial meningitis that we protect against now. And so I'll say to parents, well, which of those do you not want to protect your child from?
No, absolutely. You're a parent. You can't help but be a little bit nervous about it. Well, some parents out there are still nervous. And so what would we say to these parents? What would you say to me?
The answer is talk to your pediatrician.
Yeah.
And truthfully, most of us are parents. And so as a pediatrician and as a parent myself, I vaccinated my own kids to protect them. And I wouldn't do anything differently for yours.
Well, that is sound advice. And thank you so much for coming by, Ari, and sharing this information with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, Doctor. And if you're looking for more information and insights about immunizations, check out healthychildren.org, the official parenting website of the American Academy of Pediatrics.